In this section, I am going to teach you about the scientific management. Then we will be able to answer questions like what is scientific management, who founded it, what are the principles of scientific management. If you go through the textbooks, you will find a term classical school there. So this classical word means a style that is based on ancient forms and that has been developed before a long time. Although it may not be working in its original form today, but a part of it is still practiced. क्लासिकल स्कूल तीन फेमस मैनेजमेंट थ्योरीज का एक ग्रुप है. इट फॉर्म्स द बेस और फाउंडेशन फॉर द फील्ड ऑफ मैनेजमेंट थॉट्स एंड स्टडी, hence it is classical. It includes following three theories: scientific management theory by Frederick Winslow Taylor or F.W. Taylor, management process theory or general administration theory by Henry Fayol, theory of bureaucratic organization by Max Weber. Among these three theories, we have already discussed about the one given by Henry Fayol, and the bureaucratic theory is not in our course. So now we shall discuss about the scientific theory of management. This theory was developed over a period of many years by Frederick Winslow Taylor and published in an article in 1911. Now I will tell you how this theory evolved. Taylor was a mechanical engineer and started working as an apprentice in 1874. So, as a trainee, he had learned the working of a factory at the lowest level. It was in 1877, when Taylor was 22, that he started as a clerk in Midway Steel Company, which was America's one of the greatest armor plate making plant. After 3 years, he was promoted to the post of a foreman in 1890. Then he observed that his team was not giving as much production as he expected by him in a day. So, by applying his science of engineering, he decided to discover that how long it should take for workers to perform each given piece of work. To do this, he instructed his workers to work in phases. मतलब हर एक एक्टिविटी को पार्ट्स में कंप्लीट करने का बोला गया. Since then, Taylor founded many techniques to increase efficiency in the workplace. He was the first person in history to make a systematic way to improve work life in factories. Then in 1893, he became a management consultant who used to work for increasing efficiency in a factory, though his scientific techniques like time and motion studies. After that, in 1898, he joined Bethlehem Steel Company, where he was an accounting expert and introduced the piece rate system of wages and invented principles that brought 3 times increment in the production. Taylor says that scientific management means that you should know what exactly you want your employees to do and then take care that they do it in the best and cheapest way. Let's have a look at what his principles teach us. First, science, not a rule of thumb. He focused on abolishing the rule of thumb, which means working according to the judgment of a person in different situations and solving the problems as and when they arise. The major limitation of rule of thumb is trial and error approach. If there is no set of instructions to do a work, every manager will apply his mind in a different way, and sometimes it will be successful but sometimes a failure. Then it will lead to wastage of resources. So, he focused on eliminating the rule of thumb approach and urged the managers that they should try to know what is the best and cheapest way to perform a job. For this, they must try to analyze the job deeply and find the solutions to problems that may arise while doing the work. इस तरह काम करने से एक स्टैंडर्ड मेथड का पता लग जाएगा और फिर वो मेथड बाकी सारे वर्कर्स फॉलो कर सकते हैं. टेलर कहते हैं कि छोटे से छोटा काम करने का भी कोई ना कोई बेस्ट तरीका होता है जिससे कॉस्ट सेविंग हो सकती है और ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स वेस्ट होने से बच सकते हैं. वी हैव मैनी गुड एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस फॉलोइंग साइंटिफिक मेथड्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. We see that fast food chains around us like McDonald's and Caventer's Pizza Hut follow standard technique of making food items anywhere around the globe. Similarly, we see the application of scientific management in constructing homes by making a house plan to make best use of a limited area. Use of internet has brought about efficiency in work because a lot of cost has been saved in many activities. Harmony, not discord. This is also referred as the principle of mental revolution. This principle lays the importance of healthy relation among managers and workforce. We often observe that workers and managers are against each other and behave like rivals. There is a sort of class conflict in which managers behave rudely with the workers and workers feel dominated and go against them. Due to this, workers does not work with efficiency and managers are unable to focus on core activities. This poor attitude must be changed by both of them and a positive atmosphere must be created. This is referred as mental revolution. अगर मैनेजर्स एंड वर्कर्स दोनों को इस बात का एहसास हो जाए कि बोथ ऑफ देम आर इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देन देयर विल बी हार्मनी एंड वर्कर्स विल नॉट फॉर्म यूनियंस और फिर स्ट्राइक्स वगैरह भी नहीं होंगे. लाइक वी कैन सी इन दिस इमेज the management is sharing the profits with the workers, which shows that they realize the importance of workers in earning these profits. The example of Japanese work culture is also worth noticing. जापान में वर्कर्स को अगर मैनेजमेंट से कोई शिकायत होती है तो वो स्ट्राइक नहीं करते. इनफैक्ट वो एक ब्लैक बैज बांध लेते हैं हाथ पे एंड मैनेजमेंट को इम्प्रेस करने के लिए ओवर टाइम करते हैं. कोऑपरेशन नॉट इंडिविजुअलिज्म. ये प्रिंसिपल प्रीवियस प्रिंसिपल का ही एक एक्सटेंशन है. इन प्रीवियस प्रिंसिपल वी टॉक्ड अबाउट मेंटल रेवोल्यूशन. इन एडिशन टू दैट, दिस प्रिंसिपल फोकस ऑन द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ कोऑपरेशन टू अचीव ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल्स. Taylor suggests that there should not be any conflict or competition among the workers and managers, and they all should cooperate each other towards the fulfillment of organizational goals. This can be done by listening to the suggestion of employees and awarding the employees who give best suggestions to reduce the cost of production. Similarly, कोई डिसीजन लेने से पहले अगर हो सके तो एम्प्लॉयज़ को भी इन्वॉल्व कर लेना चाहिए जिससे उन्हें भी अपनी इंपॉर्टेंस रियलाइज़ हो. लाइक किसी जॉब करने का बेटर तरीका अगर एम्प्लॉय सजेस्ट कर सकते हैं तो उसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कंसिडर कर सकता है. जैसे गूगल को जब भी न्यू रिक्रूटमेंट्स करने होते हैं तो वो पहले करंट एम्प्लॉयज़ के रेफरेंस को कंसिडर करते हैं. टेलर ऑल्सो सेज दैट किसी भी वर्क को कंप्लीट करने की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मैनेजर्स एंड वर्कर्स को बराबर लेनी चाहिए. जितना हो सके मैनेजर्स वर्कर को कंटिन्यूसली गाइड करते रहें और टाइम टू टाइम एनकरेज करें कि किस तरह कोई वर्क स्मूथली कंप्लीट हो सकता है. डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन टू हिज और हर ग्रेटेस्ट एफिशिएंसी एंड prosperity. When Taylor was a manager, he paid lot of attention on the selection of workers for a job. He emphasizes that the employee selection is very crucial for organizational efficiency. अगर अपॉइंटमेंट के टाइम ही वर्कर्स को उनकी स्पेशलाइजेशन या एक्सपीरियंस की बेसिस पे सिलेक्ट किया जाएगा तो डेफिनेटली दे विल प्रोड्यूस मोर एंड अर्न मोर. हर वर्कर डिफरेंट होता है तो जो वर्क उन्हें फिजिकली मेंटली सूट करे उसी जॉब के करने के लिए उन्हें हायर करना चाहिए. एंड द ट्रेनिंग इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर न्यू वर्कर्स. Training will ensure that new worker does not waste the resources of organization and it will also lead to their personal development and confidence to work. Like जब भी हम कोई हायर स्टडीज़ करते हैं तो इंडिपेंडेंटली वर्क करने से पहले किसी एक्सपर्ट के अंडर ट्रेनिंग करनी पड़ती है. जैसे सीए की एक्चुअल प्रैक्टिस करने से पहले हमें पहले एक आर्टिकलशिप करनी होती है. लाइक किसी सीए के अंडर हमें वर्क करना होता है. जब कोई इंसान डॉक्टर के लिए स्टडीज़ करता है तो उससे पहले खुद से प्रैक्टिस करनी होती है. लाइक एक कंपाउंडर की जो जॉब होती है, ठीक है, तभी कोई उस चीज़ में एक्सपर्ट बन सकता है.